I'm gonna start off today's video just a little bit different, and I am going to say that I am an absolute goofball. I had a whole bunch of fishing gear with me. It was down in my room, in my basement, got my rod, walked out the door, forgot to grab all the gear. So I literally have one lure with me today, and I am trout fishing. And for those of you who do trout fishing in types of water like this, you know that one lure is simply not gonna cut it, because it's only a matter of time before I break it off. But I am not gonna go home until I at least make a few casts and try. Fingers crossed we don't ever have to go home and we can just catch fish on one lure, but chances are I'm gonna have to go home at some point. So let's just hope we can make the most of this. We're gonna try, we'll see what happens. This is just a little Mule Minnow 2.2. It's white with a 1/16 ounce white mule jig. I'm just gonna twitch it around and hope that a trout comes and smashes it. It would be a lot of luck if we can make this work. I'm gonna try to keep a positive attitude though. Just try to make really precise casts, be very intentional about my fishing and about my retrieves. Maybe be a little more risk averse today. I really don't want to have to drive home, because if I have to drive home and grab that gear, it'll burn a lot of the clock and I'll run out of fishing time way too fast, unfortunately. I've actually never fished this little stretch here. Pretty close to where I've caught fish, but this is an area that I've never actually fished, so we'll see what happens.
Quick interruption to inform you that today's fishing video is actually brought to you by the Anchor Solix C1000. They recently reached out to me and asked me if I had interest in partnering with them, and when I found out what this is all about, I thought this was such a cool product, so I had to share it. This is essentially a portable power bank, and you can take it with you anywhere you go, and essentially you have power. I am literally charging my phone right now from the middle of the woods, and all I had to do was basically plug this bad boy in at home. It took me like less than an hour to charge this thing all the way up, and it's got so much power in it, I could basically charge my phone and then like 10 others. But the reality is, I feel like for outdoorsmen, you know, technology continues to be more and more of a thing. We have batteries in a lot of our devices. A lot of the things that we bring with us places run on electricity, and we don't always have access to power. And that's where this product right here, whether you're camping or fishing or combining the two, doing some overnight fishing trips, something like this can be super, super advantageous. So that way you have trusty power while you're out and about. For me, the things that I think I'm most excited about for this particular product right here is camping trips, but specifically going fishing for overnight camping sessions where I may want to charge my battery for my kayak. Maybe I need to charge my phone. Maybe I want to make myself a coffee in the morning and I can just bring a Mr. Coffee and literally just plug it into this thing. Ultimately, the amount of times in college when I went on fishing trips and we didn't really have good power outlets available to us and our trolling motor was dying the next day, it's honestly sad, but that happened to me a lot. And I feel like something like this is such a great option to avoid those situations. So if you want to find out more about the Anchor Solix, make sure to check it out, linked in my description below. Thank you so much. Back to the fishing.
Oh my gosh, he hit it the second it hit the water. Fish on. The second it hit the water, I almost thought I had a snag and it took right off. Oh my gosh, that's actually a pretty good fish. Oh man, if I can land this fish, I will be beyond thrilled. Beyond thrilled, my friends. Okay, oh my gosh, that's a good one. I really, really dig this. This makes me very happy. This is an ultralight 6-pound braid to a 4-pound monofilament leader. Come on, come on, stay out of that junk, stay out of that junk, stay out of that junk. Okay, well this is great. This right here is great. Now I gotta figure out how to land this fish. I've got my net, but I'm kinda on a steep bank. What is this? It's gotta be a big old brown, I would think. I haven't seen like that flash yet. I've seen his body. Oh no, oh no, stay out of that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wait a second. What is that? Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Is that a steelhead? Is that a really small steelhead? If it is, I'm thrilled because I've never caught a steelhead in my life, and I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So this is new and exciting. Oh boy, oh boy. There we go. All right, let's get down in here in the water. I thought it was a small steelhead, but it's definitely a brown trout. It's a beautiful brown trout at that. Holy smokes. Oh, well, that's why he kind of took off with it so quick. He kind of got foul hooked a little bit, caught him on the underside of his chin. I'm sure he swiped at it, but missed it. I'm gonna wet my hands and hold this fish. Thought it was a steelhead there for a second. I saw that pink on him, but it's just kind of a neat color on a brown trout. Get him some water. All right, buddy. Looky there. He's got some interesting colors to him. He's not very vibrant. That's why I almost mistook him for like a small steelhead or something. He's just not very yellow. Interesting looking fish, but it's definitely a brown trout. Probably around like 18 inches. Could be actually a little more than 18 inches. Not sure. 18, 19 inches probably. Sick. Should probably check my line. Feels fine, so I'm not gonna bother retying. Might be a mistake, but I really don't think so. I don't feel any kinks in it, so I think we're good. The other thing I want to say is I have not been trout fishing in quite a while, so don't make too much fun of me for wrongly identifying that fish. All I could see is that it was very silver looking, and then when I landed it, man, it really just didn't have that much yellow to it. I'm used to the brown trouts having a little bit more yellow to them. In that case, that fish was kind of pale. And then the last thing I have to say is I already know somebody's gonna give me a hard time for the fact that I cast with my right hand and I reel with my right hand. I recognize that it's less efficient with regards to trout fishing. However, I am so much more accurate casting with my right, and I'm so much better at working my bait while holding it with my left and reeling with my right. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm trying my best here, folks. Well, I tell you what, we've got one lure and we've got one fish. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to catch a second fish or not, but I'm certainly giving it my all. And the way I see it, if you're only gonna catch one fish, you might as well make it a good one. And by my trout fishing standards, that was a solid fish. I'm gonna get back to it. I've kind of fished a lot of the water in this area that I have access to, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep wandering around a little bit, but kind of running out of real estate. So I'm not entirely sure what's gonna happen next. What I do know is I want to catch another fish, so let's get back to it. There's a fish. Came over to this little pond. I figured, why go home with one trout to my name when I can potentially go home with some multi-species to my name? And I've made several casts and I haven't really got any bites, and there's the first bite. It's a little bass, a little feisty guy. Nothing big, but I will take a bass. Water's still pretty cold, starting to warm up. There you go, one lure, two species. Nothing to write home about, but he's a pretty fish, and I'll certainly take him on a day like today. See you, buddy. Nice thing about this little pond right here is the fact that it's super windy outside, but I'm kind of protected from the wind because I got a lot of trees at my back. So that's at least nice. I didn't think I was gonna be able to open water fish today, and that's why I decided to go trout fishing, because it's just a very windy afternoon. And I wanted to take out my kayak, but I figured that would just be a mess. I don't really want to deal with 17-mile-an-hour wind while kayak fishing. It's not my favorite. That was a nice little bite. My line just jumped. You know what? He doesn't feel too terrible for ultralight. Either that or he just wants to pretend he's big, but it doesn't feel too bad. Probably no 5-pounder, but nice little quality fish for ultralight. I'll take it. There's actually a little bass chasing him in. He's about like the first one. He's just pretending to be big. I don't really care what size he is. He's fighting hard, and that's the fun part. Hey there, buddy. Another pretty little fish right there. He's healthy looking. Well, I'll tell you this much. I expected to catch trout today. I didn't expect to catch bass, and now here you go. We've got 2 bass and 1 trout. So, didn't expect this at all. Certainly take it. I think the 2 bass combined probably weigh about the same amount as the trout. That's the sad part.
When I first got to the trout stream, I was feeling a little bit frustrated and I was nervous that my fishing trip was gonna last like 5 minutes. But I tell you what, I caught a nice trout on this thing, plus 2 bonus bass. I am pretty happy. I'm gonna go home a very happy man. The best part about today is that the sun is shining and it's showing me that spring is in fact on its way, if not here already, which means a lot more fishing videos. So stay tuned, my friends. Have a great day. We'll catch you next time.